So yesterday, Greg comes to my office and says, "Doc, you got to go to this website." And so I go to this website, and he says, "You've got to look at this video, which is about 20 minutes long." And I do. And this website talks about gaming and how people literally spend collectively a millennia or several millennia gaming literally on a weekly basis. And I was like, really? And what does gaming have to do with Utopia? But I said, you know what? If Greg says listen to it, let's go for it. A little bit outside my warm and fuzzy, but hey, I can live with it. And so I started listening to this lovely lady who's a PhD.
Jane McGonigal?
Yeah, McGonigal, Jane McGonigal, a really nice lady, articulate. And so the 20 minutes basically distilled me down to several key features. She studied a lot of gamers. In fact, she got her PhD in studying the people who game. And they took videos of their faces and their facial expressions, and they could read the expressions and find out when people were going to feel very, very happy with facial expressions. Remember, I tell you, I don't care what you tell me. I care how you're telling me whatever it is you're trying to tell me, because your body language will always rat you out. If you're lying to me, I'll tell it to you, because your body tells me you're lying to me. And it's your choice to lie, because you're not lying to me, you're lying to yourself. Remember, it's all about you. And the first thing she says is that all gamers have an urgency to optimize. They really want to be efficient. So what these people are, according to her research, are extremely self-motivated. They really want to play that game. And they have reasonable expectations of winning the game. And that it's worth executing every effort right then and there. Not tomorrow, not the next time, not the next day, but right then and there. They're very, very specific about, I'm going to play this game now, and I'm going to play to win. So urgent optimism is the very first key that she notices about gamers. He noticed that because they're gaming so many hours, some people game as often as 20 hours a week. That's a half-time job. That they develop a social fabric. That even though they don't meet face-to-face with people, that they develop a kindred spirit. Because in order to game with somebody, you have to trust that they're not going to want to cheat you. And more importantly, the people that are playing the game have your same values. The people that are gaming a particular game have the same goal in mind. It's usually the good guys against the bad guys. And so there's an interaction where somebody that you've never met, God knows where in the world, may come around in a virtual world to help you get out of a sticky wicket. The next observation that Jane made is that there's blissful productivity. People enjoy working. People enjoy a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, I recommend the purpose be read the book. Maybe that will give you a little bit of a purpose. Versus sitting around and giving yourself a whole boatload of justifications for not being productive. And you see this all the time. I've done calculations where people read only 5 pages of the book a day. How long have you been here? I've been here 6 weeks. You finished the book? Yeah, I just finished it yesterday. That's a very common thing. Yet, successful gamers have a skill. Successful campers also have a skill. He's a prime facie example of how to do what you need to do to get yourself healthy. And it has to have an epic meaning. Well, if your life isn't epic to you, I don't know what should be epic. They're playing a virtual game. No one really gets hurt. No one really gets saved. It's all about the experience. Well, I reached the conclusion that, yes, I got born, and yes, I will die. So I know how I'm going to end. I don't know when, where, or how, but I know it's going to come to an end. So I've decided to enjoy whatever time I have between now and my end. And you're all going to end. So when I talk, it's a dead man talking, because I am going to die. And so people come to my office, and I'm not very sympathetic because you decided to give yourself cancer. And they're offended. Oh my God, you're telling me I gave myself cancer. What do you think, I'm stupid? Yeah, you are. Why? Because you made bad choices and you didn't recognize it. And this is an epic decision you're in. Are you worth getting your health back? Or are you just going to leave it there? It's your choice. You're all here like gamers to try to make it work. That's why I keep trying to tell you all to share your stories. Don't sit there, kick your feet up, and read a book. Use your stories, because your stories are everybody else's stories. You all have the same problems. We all have the same problems. It's collectively the same issues for all of us. It's like I say, it's when you have a shirt. Your shirts are all different than my shirts, but they all do one thing. They cover our torso. So the torso is the issue. The shirt is the red herring. That's your symptom. When you come in and you tell me that you didn't do this, and you gave up that, and you gave this other thing up, and you didn't do this other thing, and you wish you had done that, those are all the symptoms. What do they have in common? You didn't put yourself first. You didn't say, I want to do this, so I do it. What you need to do is put yourselves first. Do what is in your best interest. And the people who love you will be there. And the people who don't love you, well, maybe they shouldn't be there. Because the environment you all came from nurtured the growth of your cancers. So clearly it's toxic to you. It may not be toxic to me. It may not be toxic to your spouse or your offspring or your friends. But it's toxic to you. So it has to change if you want to be successful. And Greg was a master at that. He showed up one day in my office when it was set up differently, and he said, Doc, what I did was I put my entire life up there, and he used his hands just like I did, and I divided it into three. Things that I loved, things that I really didn't like, and things that were neutral. And I'm going to try to figure out how to make the neutral better and take a different approach to the things that I have to do that I don't like. And he did that. And the last thing that gamers do is that they immerse themselves in this fantasy world. But what McGonagall is trying to do is trying to make us all get as immersed in our real lives. And I keep trying to tell you all, happy don't get sick. I have a whole boatload of games. I bought $300-400 worth of games in that room, and they're all there for your use. Rarely are they ever played. I tell you, you want to be more childlike. Why? Because kids have fun. And when you're having fun, people are laughing, they're talking, they're joking around. There's chatter. This is your time to stand up and be counted. And you're being counted by you. Your reflection. That's who you have to answer to. And no one else but your reflection. I keep trying to tell you, I don't matter. And Greg showed that to me. When I'd go to engage Greg would say, hey, leave me alone. You're slowing me down. And I'd leave him alone. And I'd say, whoa. But my gut told me that he was on this right path. He was doing what he's supposed to do. He just kicked it up a few more notches, and I never anticipated anyone doing that, let alone so early in my career. You have to understand that this is all about you. This is an epic adventure, and it's your epic adventure. When you think back at it, when that word cancer was thrown into your life, the first thing that went out the door was your immune system. Oh my God, I can't help myself. Oh my God, I need a God. Well, yeah, we all need a real God. We don't need the demigod with the white coat and the stethoscope thinking that they can cure you, because they can't. You're the only one empowered to cure yourself. But you have to be willing to engage. You need to be willing to give yourself that opportunity at failing so that you can get it right. And it's not about being right, it's about getting it right. And that's what you all have to learn. This is your epic journey. You're the player. You have to take an interest, and you have to go with all the gusto. Because you can win. But only if you invest your time in you.